Good morning, students. In the previous classes, we have completed the human reproduction and the human male sex organs, male sex organ, female sex organ, spermatogenesis, oogenesis, totally gametogenesis completed. Now, in this class, we are going to study about the oogenesis. Once again, I am recommending that oogenesis process because this oogenesis process in females will be continued with the menstrual cycle. So in this class, oogenesis and the menstrual cycle we are going to discuss. So first of all, yesterday in the previous class, I have completed most of the portions in the oogenesis. So oogenesis, here I have given the flow chart also. Oogenesis, first oogonia. Oogonia is the mother ovum cell or mother egg cell, that is oogonia. It has 2n chromosomes, number of chromosomes. The previous class I have not mentioned, so write the number of chromosomes also. This oogonia, otherwise the mother cell, ovum or egg cell, it contains 2n. Two number of chromosomes are deployed in nature. When it is going it will undergo the mitotic division or somatic division or multiplication division. First of all, this oogonia, otherwise the mother sperm cell, it is undergoing the mitotic division. With that, we are getting two chromosomes, two cells, that is primary oocyte and two oocytes. Primary oocytes we are getting. So this primary oocyte also containing 2n chromosomes. Now, next is primary oocyte is undergoing the mitosis, meiosis division or the reduction division. That is first meiosis and second meiosis also happens in the oogenesis. The first meiosis division, the 2n chromosome, that is primary oocyte is undergoing the division. It is made up of unequal division. The cells which are daughter cells which are produced from this primary oocyte are converted into secondary oocyte, that is unequal division. One cell may be very large in size, that is the actual secondary oocyte, and before that, along with that, one small polar body, first polar body also will be produced. We know in between this primary oocyte, formation of primary oocyte and secondary oocyte, not like the sperms, here also somewhat some three stages, changes will be happens on the primary oocyte before the conversion of the primary oocyte into secondary oocyte. Yes, in the previous class we have studied about that different stages also. Primary oocyte, the primary oocyte when it is surrounded with a single layer of membrane, that is called as the primary follicle. So primary follicle is primary oocyte. This one primary follicle because it will be surrounded by the primary, that single layer of follicular membrane. So here it is the single layer. That is primary follicle. This is the primary oocyte. When the primary oocyte is surrounded by a single layer of membrane, that is primary follicle. Now again this primary follicle is surrounded by several layers, that is secondary follicle. This secondary follicle, that is the primary layer, first it has only one layer or single layer is there. Now it is surrounded by several layers. Then afterwards, these several layers will be filled with the fluid, that is called as the tertiary follicle. Now tertiary follicle formed. When this tertiary follicle is, from this tertiary follicle or primary oocyte is matured, it will be called as the Graafian follicle. Now this one, this meiosis division, afterwards this secondary oocyte we are getting. From the secondary oocyte, n chromosome reduction division, number of chromosomes are reduced. Then afterwards the secondary going for the meiosis II, but the chromosome numbers will not be changed. Here we are getting two cells, unequal cells. One is very smaller, another one is very larger in size. This larger one is called as the ovum or egg, and the smaller one is called as the second polar body. When the fertilization happens, during the fertilization time or before the menstruation cycle, after the formation of this ovum, the first polar body and the second polar body, they will be disintegrates. They will disappear. So oogenesis happens. Now afterwards, we have to pass on to the menstrual cycle or menses. The menstrual cycle, most of the females attaining the puberty at the age of 12 to 20. Nowadays 12 to 13, 14, 15, between this age they are getting the maturity or puberty. This stage is called as the menarche stage. Menarche. That is when they are attaining the puberty, that is called as the menarche stage. During this stage, from the menarche stage to menopause. Menopause means arresting of menstrual cycle. Nearly 45 to 50 years, the menstrual cycle will be arrested. So that stage is called as the menopause. That is cessation or arresting of menses. Menstrual cycle. So what does time between this menstruation between the menarche, puberty to the menopause, cessation of arresting of this menstrual cycle, that is called as the completely one menstruation period. So menstrual cycle, from this it is starting from the 20 age to arresting age will be 45 to 50, 12 to 20, 12 to 18 maybe. Now we can study the different phases during this menstrual cycle because of the reaction of hormones, this female gonadotropic hormones and also the follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, progesterone, such type of hormones are taking place on this menstrual cycle. So in between these 2 months periods, 20 to 28 days, 28 to 25 days, first day to 28 days, that is called as the cycle will alternatively happen in between to its subsequent days, that is called as the menstrual cycle. Now we can study the different phases of menstrual cycle. First one is the menstrual phase. First phase is menstrual phase. It is starting from the 3rd to 5th day, 0 to 5th day, and 3rd to 5th day some of the changes will happen inside our organs. So 3rd to 5th day some of the changes will happen. Interior side of the endometrium, the blood vessels will be starting to break. So we know the 3 layers of the uterus. First one is the perimetrium, outer layer, and the center portion is the myometrium, and the interior portion, that interior wall of the uterus is called as the endometrium. So inside the endometrium wall, blood vessels may be present. So these blood vessels will be break into pieces. So that's why the blood discharge will happen from the uterus. So blood discharge will be happening continuously or discontinuously according to the health of the individuals. It will happen. So 3 to 5 days. First change is the endometrium. The blood vessels in the endometrium will be opened. So endometrium, the changes will happen on the endometrial wall. Then blood vessels break. They will break. Then second one, the decline of FSH and the progesterone and the estrogen, gonadotrophic hormones. Decline of progesterone, the hormone progesterone, and the estrogen hormone. Estrogen hormone. Both the hormones are gonadotrophic hormones. These hormones decline. The secretion will be declining. And third point, this menstrual cycle, this phase, menstrual phase starts sometimes if the person has a stress or anemia or any other problems, disorder, maybe there means it will not occur. During the pregnancy timing also this menstrual phase will not start. So because of the stress, anemia and the hormonal disorders and the climate also affecting the menstrual cycle, climatic condition. So menstrual phase from the first to 5th day. So 3rd to 5th day most of the organs, interior side organs will be getting the change because of the menstrual phase. So this is the first phase. The next second phase is the follicular phase or the proliferative phase. See, in this phase, follicular cells will be formed because of the secretion of FSH and the LH hormones. So, first point you can write the 2 hormones will be secreted on this phase. That is LH, that is luteinizing hormone. And the FSH, both are gonadotrophic hormones. FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone. Both the hormones will be secreted in more amount. Both the hormones will be secreted more amount. And the endometrium will start to produce the follicle cells. So, proliferation of this endometrium also happens. So, here follicular cells will be formed and also the Graafian follicle. The follicular cells will be surrounded by the Graafian follicle. So, Graafian follicle will be present. Formation of Graafian follicle. And third point is proliferation of the endometrium. And the follicular cells started to secrete the hormone estrogen. So this phase is follicular phase or the proliferative species in between the 5th to 14th day. First of all, two hormones will be secreted, luteinizing hormone and the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, both will be secreted. Then afterwards, this in a high level, the Graafian follicle will be formed and the endometrium proliferated. It will be rearranged for the next ovulation stage. Next, estrogen hormone also secreted by the follicle cells or Graafian follicles. Next phase is ovulatory phase. Third one, ovulatory phase. This ovulatory phase is the peak time for this menstrual cycle. That is on the 15th day. Here, this ovulatory phase, the Graafian follicle will be ruptured. Graafian follicle is nothing but the ovum will be surrounded by the follicular tissue or follicular membrane. So, interior side of this follicular membrane, the ovum will be present. So, now the rupture of this Graafian follicle will be happening. So, inside the ovary, the Graafian follicles are attached on the cortex region. In the cortex region, this ovum will be there. Ovum, it is surrounded by the follicle cells. Already we have studied the different stages. The primary oocyte will be surrounded by single layer, primary, secondary, and the tertiary. So now this tertiary follicle cells will be surrounded. So because of the peak level production of this LH hormone, that is called as the surge, LH surge. That is excess production of this LH hormone, excess production. Excess production of this LH hormone is known as the LH surge. That is 2 mark question. What is LH surge? What is its function? LH surge is the excess production of LH hormone during the time of this 14th day of menstrual cycle. So this LH surge is motivating these follicle cells to rupture and the ovum will be released out. So this LH hormone is responsible for the rupturing or breaking down of this follicle cell or the outer covering. Then interior, when it is rupturing, this ovum will be coming out. So this process, the rupture and releasing of ovum from the ovary, that are shedding the ovum from the ovary, this process is called as the ovulation. Now this phase is over. After ovulation, then when the ovum is coming out, so here the hormone which is responsible for this one is LH surge. So in the first stage, process of menstrual phase, which hormone is responsible? Both the hormones, progesterone and estrogen, both will be declined. And the follicular phase, 3 hormones. First one is the luteinizing hormone, then the follicle stimulating hormone, and in the third stage, estrogen hormone will be secreted. Then the ovulatory phase, the LH hormone will be secreted in the excess level. That's why it is called as the LH surge, and this LH surge is responsible for the rupturing of outer covering of the follicular tissue of this ovum. Now ovulation happens. Ovum is released from the area. Next, last stage, luteal phase. Luteal phase. During this phase, when the ovum is coming out, this follicle cells are called as the corpus luteum. This corpus luteum, without the ovum, remaining follicle membranes, they are called as the corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is responsible for the secretion of the hormone progesterone. So it is acting as the endocrine gland now, this corpus luteum. So progesterone, the hormone progesterone will be secreted by the corpus luteum by the function of endocrine system. So corpus luteum is now produced. If the fertilization not takes place, the ovum will be ruptured and they will be sent out to the menstrual cycle, and the corpus luteum, it will be shrunken and it will be seen as a scar tissue, and it is called as the corpus albicans. Corpus albicans is a scar tissue. The corpus luteum is converted into corpus albicans. It loses its endocrine function and it is called as the corpus albicans. It will be remaining on the endothelial wall of this ovary. Now all the phases are over. Now all the phases of menstrual cycle is over. 4 phases are there. Menstrual phase, that is 3 to 5 days. Then next one is the follicular or proliferative phase, 5 to 14th day, and the ovulatory phase is 14th to 14th, that is the peak time, because excess luteinizing hormone will be secreted on this age, that is LH. Excess LH is surge, that is excess secretion of luteinizing hormone. It is giving the stimulation for the ovum and the follicles, rupture of follicle cells and surrounding the ovum. Then next final stage is the luteal stage. During this stage, the corpus albicans, this corpus luteum will be formed. Rupture of ovum will be released out. Here the progesterone hormone is secreted by the corpus luteum. So various hormones are participating in this process. So corpus luteum, progesterone, it is endocrine, functioning as an endocrine gland and secreting the hormone progesterone, and this progesterone, when it is the ovulation, this copulation, fertilization not takes place, this corpus luteum will be converted into corpus albicans. It is a scar tissue. So first stage, decline of progesterone and the estrogen hormone, they are the gonadotrophic hormones, and the follicular phase or proliferative phase, 3 hormones are involving, FSH, LH and the estrogen hormone. Ovulatory phase, this excess production of LH hormone, and the last luteal phase is progesterone hormone. So last, this luteal phase is after this 15th day to up to the next menstrual phase started. So up to this, that is called as a menstrual cycle from 1st to 20. The normal healthy females, you can see this cycle between 1 to 28 days. Sometimes maybe because of the already I told hormonal imbalance, then stress, some of the disorders, such type of reasons are affecting the menstrual cycle also. Next we can pass on to the menstrual hygiene. Menstrual hygiene. During this menstrual cycle time, we have to follow the hygienic ways. What are the hygienic ways we have to follow? Absorbable cloth, that should be the cotton cloths or napkins, whatever we are using, it should be sterilized and very clean cloths we have to use. Afterwards, within this menstrual cycle, within 4 to 5 hours, we have to change the pad or napkin. So 4 to 5 hours are necessary for the changing of pad or napkin. Then during this time, if you are changing everything properly, you should be free from the mental stress, and also the students can attend the class also properly without any tension. After this using of this pad and napkin, we have to dispose on this particular manner, clean manner. It should be wrapped on a paper or polythene cover. We have to dispose it. Don't throw these napkins or everything on the flush out. It will block the way of the sanitary areas. So we have to use the wrap. We have to cover this used napkins and pads in the paper or cover. Next, we can pass on to the fertilization. We know what is fertilization. Fusion of male and female gamete is called as the fertilization. So fusion of male and female gametes. This is called as the fertilization process. After copulation, the male reproductive gametes will be deposited on the females. So when it is passing on through that area, the fusion of male and female gametes will happen on the fallopian tube in between the area of the isthmus and the ampulla. Already we have studied the structure of ovary. Finger-like projections may be there on both the sides. Is connected with the uterus. Both the sides we can see the fallopian tube and ovary will be present here. Here shaped uterus. So here these finger-like muscular projections are called as the fimbriae. This fimbriae is responsible for capturing of the ovum which is released from the ovary. So now ovary will be captured by the fimbriae and it is passing on this enlarged area, cup-shaped area, that is called as the infundibulum. Here, infundibulum. In this infundibulum, now when it is passing on, afterwards it is reaching to the next area, that is the connecting area between the isthmic region, isthmus. And this area is ampulla. So when the sperms are deposited on the vagina of the female reproductive organ, through this vagina it is passing on to the uterus, and through the uterus it is coming to the fallopian tube. So in the ascending manner it is traveling, the sperm is traveling. So it is traveling in the ascending manner to the uterus, and from the uterus it is coming to the isthmus region, the center tube of this fallopian tube or the uterine tube or the uterine oviduct. This oviduct it is passing on, and this joining place of this infundibulum, the ovum is now released from the ovary and it is captured by the fimbriae and it is passing on to the infundibulum. From the infundibulum it is reaching to the ampulla region. Now the sperm is passing through this area and the fusion of egg and the sperm will happens on this area, ampulla region, the connecting area in between the isthmus and the ampulla region. So now the fusion of male and female gametes over. Now this cleavage will go under the division. Now we got the zygote. This zygote has 2 N chromosomes. So sperm plus ovum, fusion happens. So fusion occurs in the connecting area in between the ampulla and the isthmus region. Now we are getting the zygote. So here one N. This sperm has a single chromosome and here also single chromosome. Now the zygote has a double. So now it is in this manner. Now it is going rapid division of this multiple division of the somatic division happens in this 2N or zygote. When it is divided into two equal cells, these daughter cells, this stage is called as the blastomere. Again this blastomere undergoes several divisions. Afterwards, when it is this 2 into 4, then 4 into 8, 8 into 12, like that. When it is coming to the 16th stage, it is called as the morula. When the cells are in 16 in number, 8 is converted into 16. 2 into 4, 4 into 8, then 4 afterwards it will be converted into 16, 8. Now it is called as the morula. Now this morula undergoes some more divisions. Then it will be converted into 100 cells. When it is converted into 100 cells, it is called as the blastocyst. First is blastomere. Now it is called as the blastocyst. Before that, this blastocyst stage, now 100 cell. Before that, when this sperm is coming contact with the ovum, we already know. The outer layer of ovum has 3 layers, not like the sperms. It has 3 layers. Inner layer is called as the vitelline membrane. Then the middle layer is called as the zona pellucida. Then the outer layer is follicular tissue with thick follicular tissue, that is called as the zona corona radiata. So interior side we can see that now you have to remind the structure of ovum. Interior side we can see the cytoplasm, that is called as the ooplasm. In the previous class we discussed about the structure of ovum also. Here we can see the nucleus, that is called as the germinal vesicle. The cytoplasm of the ovum is not like the cytoplasm of other cells because larger granules will be present on this cytoplasm. So the outer covering, it is called as the vitelline membrane. Interior side we can see the vitelline membrane. Then here one more is there, that is the middle layer, zona pellucida. Then the outer layer has the follicular cells, elongated spicules like the structure will be there, that is called as the corona radiata. Third layer. So when the sperm is entering inside, when it is penetrating, so it has a special type of portion, that is cap-like structure. Here it is acrosomes. Yesterday we have studied. Here one proteolytic enzyme also present. Hyaluronidase. This hyaluronidase enzyme is responsible for penetrating this one. So the presence of hyaluronidase enzyme and on the acrosomal capital, the cap-like structure, that is called as the capitation. Capacitation. That is capacitation. So the process of penetrating, during the penetrating time, the cap-like structure which is present on the outer layer of the region of the sperm, and it has a special type of enzyme that is called as the higher glucosidase, and it is responsible for the penetration process. So this is called as the capacitation. Now this capacitation process, when it is happening, it is penetrating inside. All the three layers are very thick, and the head region, when it is entering inside, afterwards, after entering this region, one sperm inside the cell, ovum, the ovum granular cells, large granular granules which are present on the cytoplasm, they are forming the membrane. Immediately they are forming the membrane around the ovum or the egg cell. Once again, one more layer is formed around this. After the entry of the sperm, one sperm, this membrane is called as fertilization membrane. So what is fertilization membrane? After the entry of this sperm inside the ovum, the granules, how it is formed, the fertilization membrane, how it is formed. After the entry of the sperm inside the entry of the ovum, inside the ovum of the sperm, immediately the cytoplasm granules of egg will be forming the membrane around the egg cell. That is called as the fertilization membrane. Now this fertilization membrane is preventing the entry of polyspermy. More sperms inside. One sperm is allowed to enter inside the ovum. Remaining will be arrested with the help of this fertilization membrane. So this is to avoid the polyspermy. The condition, the entering of more sperms inside the ovum is called as the polyspermy. So the function of this fertilization membrane is it is arresting the entry of polyspermy. Otherwise, we can say the entry of other more sperms inside the ovum will be arrested by the fertilization membrane. Now, after fertilization, we studied this one. Morula stage, different stages of these sperms. 2n will be converted into 4, 4 into 16, 16 to 16 stage is called as the morula stage. The two cells are called as the, after the division of 2n chromosome, we are getting the equal size of two cells, that is blastomere. The blastomere undergoes several division, multiplication or somatic division, that is called as the multiplication. 4 into 8, 8 into 16. The 16th stage of this embryo is called as the morula stage. Then afterwards, when it is converted into 100, this 100 it is called as the blastocyst. Now this blastocyst will be implanted on the uterus. Now everything will happen on this ampulla, the joint, the junction in between the ampulla and the isthmus area. So after these changes, this 100-celled blastocyst will be coming through the fallopian tube or uterine tube and enter inside the endometrium of the uterine, and the endometrium of the uterine it will be implanted, it will be attached. Now blastocyst is there. Afterwards the cleavage will be formed and the division, so rapid cell division, mitotic cell division will happen for this blastocyst. Again it is converted into embryo. It has the trophoblast, outer layer. The outer layer is into the flattened cells, and the flattened cells are there. These flattened cells are called as the trophoblast. And interior side we can see the small cells, and they are 20 to 30 cells. They are called as the inner cells. Now, during this phase, the nutrition will be given by the endometrium. It is starting to secrete more nutritious fluids. It is giving the nourishment for the trophoblast, this blastocyst. Then afterwards, after some stage, the umbilical cord will be formed. This umbilical cord will be connected with the mother, and from the mother it is getting the nutrition. So this implantation and the fertilization is also completed. Now we can come to the evaluation part. First of all, gametogenesis, flow chart of gametogenesis. Write these questions also. These are the extra questions, book back questions. We can discuss later after the opening. First you have to write the interior questions. First one is gametogenesis, flow chart of gametogenesis. Important 5-mark question. That is, here we have to write both the flow chart. First one is the spermatogenesis. In the previous class I have given the spermatogenesis flow chart, genesis, and the second process. This one A and B is the oogenesis. Both the flow chart you have to mention here, gametogenesis. Then second one, 2-mark question. What is corpus albicans? Then next third one is, this is 2-mark or 3-mark question. Corpus albicans and its function also. Define corpus luteum. Next, fourth question. What is fertilization membrane? What is fertilization membrane? Then how it is formed? And what are the functions of this fertilization membrane? So functions of fertilization membrane. And one more important question, that is, write the different phases of menstrual cycle. Important 5-mark question. Fifth question. Phases of menstrual cycle. Phases of menstrual cycle with all 4 phases and the important hormones which are involved in this phase also you have to mention properly. So study all these questions in this portion. 2-mark and 3-mark. 1 words also. When you are reading the book, you have to find out the 1 words also. Blastomere, blastocyst in which age, where the fertilization occurs, in which area of the uterus or anywhere. 1 word, 2-mark, multiple choice questions may be come here. And blastocyst, blastomere, what is blastomere? Such a type of questions also read and write. Thank you.